You know, after a while, it's tough to even keep track of what day it is. So I've been working on this trooper here, and it doesn't look like I've gotten any further, but yesterday was actually kind of a momentous day. Um, I realized that I had to pull the engine again, so I did, um, and pulled the engine and installed the torque converter onto the back of the engine and dropped the engine back in. And I was able to get the torque converter and the transmission drive shaft lined up together. Now, it's not completely mated together, but I think I'm about 95% of the way through the hardest part, which was trying to get those two to actually come together at the right place. Um, this has been a very difficult and trying type of thing to try to do. Um, the, the transmission, I really need to be able to take the Y pipe off of the exhaust, but the Y pipe is rusted on, and I don't want to have to cut all the bolts. There isn't even room to cut the bolts. I would have to wind up cutting the actual pipe, and then I'd have to re-weld the pipe, and I didn't want to have to do that. So um, it's been challenging to not have to actually get it all back together here. Um, Today I'm going to be focusing on getting the transmission sucked up to the engine block, and since everything's aluminum, you can't actually use the bolts to do that. You would wind up cracking the block. You can do it kind of sort of to a point, but I need to wiggle and draw the transmission up into the engine, and at that point I should be able to put those bolts in. But the other thing is, I got the throttle position sensor for the Daytona 675, so I'm really anxious to put that in and to try to get that to work. Hopefully I can get that together maybe today. I'd like to take it for a quick test ride to see whether or not it's working. I've been itching to do another track day since we haven't had any opportunities to actually get out there and do track days in quite a while. It's going to be cooling down in Phoenix and in Pahrump, but not quite yet. We're still a couple months away from that. It's possible that Sandia Raceway in Albuquerque will be available for track days, but I really haven't looked. I just wanted to get the bike running right. I think that throttle position sensor actually is what made me crash this on the track. I was coming out of a corner, and I had gone in through the corner, and I wasn't even going that hot. And as I rolled onto the gas at the apex of the corner, the bike just completely dumped on me. And it could have been cold tires, but it also could have been that the engine stuttered, which I'm finding out the throttle position sensor is probably bad on this. But the engine cuts out right when you turn the gas on, and if that happens, that would have dropped all of my momentum off of the tires and made me take that low side. Wasn't bad. Ripped up my leathers and put a couple scuffs on the fiberglass body kit that I've got for this, but I walked away from it, slid probably 40 or 50 feet. I was probably only going 35, 40, 50 miles an hour at the most. It was a relatively slow corner, but it's what happens. That's why you ride motorcycles on the track, is to go as fast as you can, and taking a crash is one of the things that could happen. Well, the crane here needs some good service. It leaks oil pretty good, but I'm really ready to fold this up and not use it for a little while. After taking out the engine again yesterday and reinstalling it, it was a long day. So we're going to be trying to do these update videos every time I can, and we'll see you next time.